Welcome back everyone for another All Valley Brawl Cobra Kai Season 4 Watch Party. As Season 4 looms near and the 51st All Valley Under 18 Karate Tournament looms large, all the focus is definitely on what will happen in that tournament. Who will win? Who will lose? Who hangs up their gi forever? And who dominates Karate in the Valley? But despite the best efforts of the creators and Netflix, this is not an obscure mystery. With some good detective work, we can start to see how this will unfold in Season 4. We're going to be combining some important info from a previous spoiler video, so be warned. These are somewhat minor, but it is information about Season 4. Now in the previous video, we looked at the casting calls and noticed they needed extras for the All Valley Tournament for a full 2 weeks at the end of April. That was a bit much. They had never needed so many extras for so long before. To be clear, the normal shooting schedule for an episode is about 6 days. So 2 full weeks of shooting the All Valley means that's long enough to be almost 2 episodes. I speculated that since the tournament is so big with so many characters, it could span the final 2 episodes of the season. Basically, the prelim rounds are in episode 9, and the semi-final and final rounds are in episode 10. We'll see the whole matches a lot more often. There's a lot of narrative and story to cover in each fight. After all, for most of the characters, this is their final All Valley tournament ever. Each fight is emotional. There may be a way to confirm that the tournament is split over 2 days. It involves taking a look at our old friend IMDb. Now, it's important to remember IMDb is not a reliable source of information. It can be, and often is, edited by anyone. For example, the first episode of Season 4, it lists Elizabeth Shue as Allie, Ron Thomas, Tony O'Dell, and Randy Heller. There is no indication any of them are in the episode, and I'll be willing to bet they aren't. Maybe Randy Heller, but not the others. Those sort of returns will never be revealed on IMDb, but what information can we get from the site? Where IMDb is reliable is often small, minor characters in the crew. There's a straightforward reason for this. The actors and crew members who did the work want the credit. It helps them find new work when they have been on a major show. I think a lot of times they are added to the site by the actor's agent or manager. That's the manager's job. What that means for us is we can use IMDb to identify small roles in crew, and that's what we're going to do here. First, look at the current credits for the Stunt Crew for Episode 2. You see doubles for many of the cast members, including Anthony, by the way. We also see the Stunt Crew and a few other performers. That's pretty normal for an episode. Now let's look at the Stunt Crew for Episode 9. Whoa, you can immediately see that this list is a lot longer. It's also worth noting it is still incomplete. Mary's stunt double isn't listed anywhere in the season, nor Ralph's nor Sholo's. But what is here is interesting. Take a look. First, let's take out the staff, by which I mean Don Lee, the fight coordinator, and Ken Bearfield, the stunt coordinator. They're both new for this season. We'll take out the 2 listed for utility stunts, as that isn't what we're worried about here. We're focused on who's going to be the fighters. Finally, let's cross out all the stunt performers for a cast member. Out of the 9 stunt performers that are left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them are women. Out of the extra stunt performers, the ones who are doing the fighting, why are there a fair number more women than men? A 2-to-1 ratio at that. Well, let's use a little conjecture. The opening rounds of the tournament will have a lot of fights. Most will be between the characters and random extras. Though this time with so many characters, I think there will be early rounds pitting main characters against other main characters. And since so many of the characters are guys, there is less need to bring in men stunt fighters for the matches. But the large number of girl fighters in the credits implies they needed to bring in a lot of crew for the girl fights. Since there are only 3 girls as main characters, Sam, Tori, and Devin, they can't fight each other in the early rounds. Instead, they'll have their early rounds against the stunt fighters, who will be no-name characters and lose. As there are 6 stunt women and 3 girl characters, That would make about 2 matches each to get to the semifinals. At least that's how the montage went for the last All Valley. There were 2 matches for Miguel, Hawk, and Robbie to reach the semifinals. Devin will probably make the semifinals, but I'm not sure. She has the least training. Certainly Sam and Tori will. As for the guys, well, when we look at the stunt performers in the final episode, we see a lot less. Just doubles for Dimitri, Hawk, Robbie, and then of course Miguel. There's 2 other guys listed as stunt fighters. I suspect the final 4 for the guys will narrow down to them. This makes for an interesting semifinals for the guys bracket. My guess is Hawk fights Robbie in a rematch from the previous year, and Miguel fights Dimitri. As it goes, Robbie and Miguel both win and face each other in the finals, the rematch of the series. The fights are long, but there'll, of course, be plenty of drama between the fights. Miguel will feel bad about beating Dimitri, but he has no choice. He's the better fighter and they need to win. Dimitri will understand. Likewise, Robbie will defeat Hawk straight up this year, no disqualification. I hate to think of Hawk losing, but that's what'll happen. A few notes: we're obviously dealing with incomplete information here. Not all the stunt performers are listed, so we are limited as to what we can speculate. You could look at the performers and conclude there's only one bracket, and the final episode begins with the quarterfinals. In the quarterfinals, you would have Sam, Miguel, Hawk, Dimitri, Tori, Robbie, and the 2 others. The problem with the single bracket is it's hard to make a strong narrative and give every character their moment. Do the semifinals become Miguel, Sam, Robbie, and Tori? I would think so. The problem then is who gets eliminated. Can you imagine any scenario where Robbie doesn't make the finals? No. How about Miguel? He's the defending champ. No, he has to make the finals too. Will Sam get eliminated? No way. This is her only All Valley and she's going to make the finals. The writers love her too much not to. That leaves us with Tori. She's got something to prove after ending on the losing side 2 seasons in a row. She may not make the finals, but we already have 3 others who must be in the finals. That means Tori is also in the finals. She faces off with Sam. 2 brackets in the tournament. The bet is if Daniel's student doesn't win the tournament, he shuts down and hangs up his gi. If Johnny's student doesn't win the tournament, he shuts down and hangs up his gi. I suspect there's a similar bet for the Cobra Kai side. Terry Silver is connected to Tori. She has to win for him to continue, and Robbie has to win for Kreese to continue. The girls will probably go first. We see Amanda worried here. Hawk and Dimitri have also been eliminated. You remember from my finalist video, that's why these 2 seats are empty. Yasmin and Moon were sitting there. They left the stands to console their man. After Tori wins, Sam and Daniel are devastated. The final fight is the Miguel versus Robbie rematch. Robbie wins his way. Johnny doesn't just shut down Eagle Fang, he must return to Cobra Kai. I made a video on that. The tournament probably concludes about 2/3 the way through the final episode. There's going to be a lot of fallout, probably a lot more than there was in Season 1. There will have to be a concluding moment between Johnny and Kreese. There's a lot of ground to cover, but the important thing is Cobra Kai is again the All Valley champions. Tori defeats Sam to win the girls bracket, and Robbie defeats Miguel to win the boys. And as far as what happens to Tori next, you should watch that video about Tori becoming a Cobra Kai instructor. It'll blow your mind. Have a great day. I'll see you at the next watch party.